Oh, do I have a treat for you in this video. Today, I kind of want to do something different. As you know, if you keep up on the channel, I do something called Virtual Drift Championship, or VDC. It's where a bunch of nerds on computers go drift against each other, and whoever wins the most battles, gets the most points, is the champion. Essentially, it's the Formula Drift, or the Drift Masters of the virtual world. And so, if you also know, I switched cars mid-season from a GT86 to an E92. Didn't like it too much. So today is gonna be the first episode of me drifting and testing a car for next season. Now, why am I already doing this when it's June of 2025? Well, the only other series that is available for me to drift right now is Virtual Drift Masters, and I don't have a license. I wildcard. The first time I didn't qualify, so that wasn't fun. And who knows if they're gonna let me back in again. If they do, appreciate it. If they don't, okay, they don't. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to start testing now, then later. So here's how it's gonna work. I will test this car on, a few tracks, not a ton of tracks, but 2 or 3, kind of get a feel for it. However, I'm not gonna share you what car it is. I'm gonna be driving either in the car or on the roof like I do. Hey, man, you driving the roof? Shut the fuck up. And you can guess what it is. You may get it right. For this one, you'll probably get it right. And then the thumbnail. So let's get to it today. So here we are at the first track, which is Englishtown. And you may be able to hear it, and by the silhouette of the car, I'm sure you can kind of figure out what car this is. Now, is it the same motor as the real life car? No. It's a little bit different, revs a little higher, and it may be naturally aspirated, but I'm not going to tell you that combo. I will say this car has 285s, VDC tire, 285s, and I've been driving it a decent bit recently, along with a couple other cars, and I've been vastly enjoying it more than any other car that I've been driving. Now again, the fun in this video is I'm not going to say what it is. I may drop it by accident, and if I do, then shame on me. But I will say this car has dual wishbone suspension, front and rear. And according to the suspension app, and I'll actually pull that up right now so you can kind of get an insight into what I'm working with suspension wise. I don't know if you can't see that. Hold on, let me pull it over. We'll just keep it in the middle. I could still see. This car doesn't have a ton of anti-squat, just like the E92 did. And what that means is the rear of the car will raise up under throttle, giving you somewhat more speed. This car is like relatively neutral in the rear. It raises up and it moves a lot, which is, kind of like how I like my cars to drive in a way. It's more so on you rather than the car to have all the grip. I can really be on edge with the car, and it's just fun, It's just fun to drive a car like this. Speed-wise, I haven't tandem with anyone. Most of these cars that I'm going to be testing, I haven't done any tandems with, which is, kind of besides the point with things. But, I mean, you got to test it solo first before you do the tandem runs. And I'm really enjoying it solo. I feel like it's a very predictable car and moves very fluidly. I'm not gonna share caster or anything. I think you could you could see it. Never mind. Well, I spoiled it. Womp womp. I really do. I've been enjoying this car a lot. I've been testing it. Tested it today a lot. Yesterday a bit. A lot. I mean like 30 minutes because that's all the time I had. And I genuinely enjoy driving it. Now, my big thing, and my big reason why I kind of want to drive this car is I've always wanted to drive this car. When I made the switch over from Forza to Assetto, my VDC car I wanted to drive was this car. I just never had the model, and I never wanted to put in the dollars or the time to make this car, and now it's finally here in a much more popular form thanks to a certain professional driver, I guess we could say. Now I feel like, you know, these are gonna pop up a little more, and they're very competitive chassis, just like the, again, spoiler, other generations of cars that this car offers, I guess. It's very fast, it's nimble, it's a big car still, but it's a little more nimbler than the E92. That thing's a freaking boat. Anyways, I'm pretty tired and bored of Englishtown because it's a, you know, figure 8 on the sim, so it's not super fun. Anyway, let's go to a different track real quick. Next track choice was VDC Mid-Ohio. It's a bit more quick, it's fun. I wish I drove this track for the exhibition event. This track is so much fun. But as I was saying, I really like how this car looks and just how it moves across the track. It's very sinister, and testing, it drives really well. Some people I know who drove this car, it's been driven a few times in VDC and other series. They don't like it too much. They say they're very limited on, you know, how to drive it and whatever, and I honestly don't see that. I have a lot of options with, you know, how the suspension moves, and I can tune grip in, tune grip out, take more forward out, put more forward in. I will say this car has a lot of forward bite out of the box, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You could always tune side bite in, and you could put even more forward bite into it if you really wanted to, but honestly I haven't felt the need to. But this thing, wake up, is very quick. And this engine package, as you can hear, it's a V8. Now, it could or could not be the V8 you're thinking of, right? Could be a little different. Spoiler alert, it is. And drives very well. Oh yeah, just right out there. Here we go again. Oh, oh. Get right out. So I'm gonna make a slight change. I'm gonna turn the boost down a little bit. Hopefully I can get a little more speed out of the car. That's the thing with this car, you know, it being brand new, me never driving it before, you know, before these past couple days. I'm just tuning the things to kind of figure out how to really nail this car. Enter in. Oh, see, it just shoots inside. That is crazy. Alright, made some quick tuning adjustments to hopefully help my issue on entry. But yeah, this car and the next few cars are definitely towards the top of my list. This car specifically, just because I kind of have a soft spot for it as a competitive drift car. Oh yeah, way better. There we go, just need a little more forward, which is, you know, surprising, but sometimes forward bite helps you. Yeah, I'm just wow. Way quicker. Oh. So physics are a big thing in the game, like how the car drives, but also how it looks and model wise. And from a scale of like 1 to 10 on how, I guess, 3D modelable, I guess how much availability there is in parts and 3D models of this car, I'd say it's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 4 right now. There's not a lot, but I feel like there's going to be more as time goes on. And, you know, I could always pay modelers or have, you know, people do it. The things I want to do with it, it's going to cost money, unfortunately, but that's the world we live in, and I'm okay with paying people for their time, because that's how it works, and I appreciate all the Aceto modders out there putting in the hours to make beautiful cars, just like this one. When it comes to how it looks in general, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 out of 10. This car looks mean, sinister, no matter what you do to it, unless you actually completely botch it, this car will always look absolutely gorgeous. So, I don't know if I'm going to drive it next year. I was going to drive one of its generational brothers in VDC last year, but then made the switch to the GT86. So maybe I give this thing a shot as I'm blowing off into the grass, which is okay. Yep, alright, whatever. I think it may be time to give this car a shot, but I do have other cars to test because I have free will and I'm not tied to a certain car I have to drive. So stay tuned for those. I'm excited to test other cars as there are many other cars to test. With that said, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're looking for new sim gear, or maybe you want to learn more about sim racing, or maybe you want a turnkey sim setup just for yourself, make sure to go down in the description, go to balanceracing.com and use code 404 for 5% off. Balance Racing is my company, so I hold it very close to my heart. Anyways, with that, hope you've been enjoying the content lately. Let me know down below what your thoughts are, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Whee!